Hey everybody, welcome back to Just Guitar Talk. Today is the day. It is January 11th, and it's a day that we've all been looking forward to. It's the release of the Paul Reed Smith Silver Sky SE edition. We knew it was going to come at some point. We didn't know when, but it is out today. And, I woke up like a kid on Christmas morning and I've been watching all the videos. And I've been really pleased with what I've seen so far, I do like the PRS. I've been a PRS fan for a long time. I had a Swamp Ash special, and I loved it. I thought it was great. And, I played lots of different Paul Reed Smith guitars, been, a huge fan of them. And when the Silver Sky came out, it was a big hubbub on the internet, and everybody, it was all hyped up and everything. But over the past couple of years, it's really proved its worth in the guitar market. It's an awesome guitar. I've played it. It's it's a Strat for sure, but it's got its PRS thing happening. You know what I mean? It's got that great PRS quality. The aesthetics are fantastic, and of course that PRS neck. It's the neck is incredible. I really like the maple version myself more than the rosewood version. The maple version, I always preferred maple necks, so with maple fretboards, and it feels more comfortable to me. It's also got less lacquer on the back of the neck, so it's a little bit more satiny, and it's also. I just prefer the maple fretboard, but they sound great. The pickups are incredible, as you'd imagine, and lots of people have been playing them. From, of course, the John Mayer fans all went out and got them, but we also got popular YouTubers to, I was watching The Voice recently, and the band, two of the guitar players in that band had Silver Skies. And I even read an interview with Brad Whitford from Aerosmith, and he loves the Silver Sky, and he said he could easily play a whole Aerosmith set with one. So, they've really been embraced by players from all sides of the spectrum. And we've all been waiting for an SE version to come out, because they've only had like the core version, which of course is, a little over $2,000, which is a little bit pricey. Well, it is pricey for most people, even pros, you know what I mean? But now they've released the Silver Sky SE version, and we're going to watch the video and going to react to it. 1, 2, 3, go. No, didn't work. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, go.
Look, let's get right to it.
Starting off. Excellent start.
So in 2018, PRS and myself released my signature model, the Silver Sky. And Silver Sky model was meant to recreate all the magic and sound and feel of a vintage guitar. And now I'm really excited to show you the SE, which is a guitar that nails, I think, the sound and feel of that Silver Sky core model. The SE is the more affordable and therefore more accessible version of PRS guitars. And it's something that Paul and I had always
accessible is going to be a key word here.
People had talked about wanting it for pretty much since the original came out. And I'm really, really excited to show you a guitar that is more accessible, but doesn't penalize a guitar player for not having the core US model. Let's talk about intonation on this guitar.
I like that.
Is really,
it's
really
it's
important.
a really good way to put it.
And PRS guitars are known for really, really good intonation. And it was important that the Silver Sky SE keep that same integrity going in terms of tuning. And to prove it, I'll play the beginning of one of my songs, Shot in the Dark, which was very hard to record because it's hard to keep it in tune because there's so many
I love that song.
piano-like chords. But check it out.
It's a great record too. If you haven't listened to it, Sob Rock. This is one of my favorite tunes on the record. So far, I like what I'm hearing.
Really is sort of like piano.
Very
The way
articulate,
you can prove that
warm.
is do the whole thing an octave higher. Or I'll do it in C because I'm running out of room.
I think he's
Sort of
playing
proves
a
that
Fender
it
Deluxe
really
Reverb.
keeps those fine,
I'd be willing
sort
to
of
bet he is.
piano-like chords. and down the neck. The neck carve still has that beautiful vintage feel that I love.
Are they in like a warehouse
sort
or
of
something? What is
C-shaped,
this?
But it also has this modern thing that's just really even up and down the neck. And I sort of play based on the feel of a guitar. If a guitar feels good, I'll keep playing it. And a lot of my ideas come from just having my hand up and down the neck. And I'll watch TV or something, and I'll put it on mute and just... You're supposed to play.
And I gotta learn how to rake with my fingers.
And this is a really, really fun guitar to play on. I've had it for...
I'm really bad at playing with my fingers. I play
actually
fingerstyle a
sit
lot
down
with
and
acoustic
play it
guitar,
most
but
of the
not with
time.
electric.
That's the sign of a great instrument, is if you can just stare off into space and not realize it's been an hour that you've been playing. This is actually one of those guitars that, even if you have US versions of guitars and you're, you know, you got a nice little guitar arsenal, you could pick up an SE and bond with it and go, well, I'm going to throw that in. The three pickups are voiced the same. It's the same thing as the core model Silver Sky, and that's really, really nice when you move across pickups. We've all played some guitars that have different voices. Some are louder, some are quieter, some have stranger dynamics.
A lot of Strat players prefer a hotter
even
pickup in the
across
bridge
because they're all
position.
three the same pickup. They're just in different spaces under the string, which give a different sound. And so
I'm
as you're
surprised he
playing,
doesn't. One thing that sounds similar with the SE, and you know, I've heard other people say this, and I agree. You know, a lot of people who play Strat style guitars wouldn't agree that all three pickup positions or all three pickups in every position are
Sounds
usable.
like me.
Usually they just
On
use
an
like
old
one or
guitar,
two, but most Silver Sky
Silver
players
Sky,
say they
it
love
sounds
all
like
the
me on an
positions,
SE,
you know,
because all
and
the
it
same
sounds like all
electronics,
positions on
all
the
the same
SE are
vibe
very usable
made
as
it through
well.
the process of making a more accessible guitar.
Yeah, that's what people want to hear.
So when I was growing up, if I were buying a guitar that wasn't the US standard version, I felt sort of like I had the color palette taken away from me. And that's why it was really important to introduce the SE in 4 really beautiful colors. Stone Blue, which is the one that I'm holding, Evergreen, Moon White, and Dragon Fruit.
I love that
really
Moon White.
Also, when it comes
like
to
a
a
cream.
more affordable guitar,
Dragon Fruit's cool
the
too.
fretwork doesn't hurt you as you move your hand up and down. I think for many, many years, we've all had to sort of accept that a less expensive guitar
It doesn't
was
hurt you,
going
but
to
is it
hurt
comfortable?
a little bit when we ran our hands up and down the neck. And in this case, it is as well dressed and set up as any of the guitars I play on stage. For 20 years
That's good to
now,
hear.
parents have come up to me asking me what electric guitar I think they should buy for their kid. And I never really had a good answer. I always felt either guilty for recommending something that was too expensive or guilty for recommending something that I didn't think was very high quality. And when you're beginning to play the guitar, it's sort of a daunting
true.
task to begin a new hobby or a new passion.
It used to be a really wide gap.
And if the guitar isn't set up right, I think sometimes people don't understand their guitar is not set up right and just think guitar is too hard. I know there are some people in this world who've put a guitar
Totally
away
true.
because they said, guitar is just not for me. But what they really had going on was that the guitar wasn't set up in a way that was comfortable to play. And so I was always stuck in between these two answers. It's going to be too expensive, or it's going to be sort of crummy and it's not going to give someone the right kind of playing experience to begin playing guitar. The Silver Sky SE is now the answer I've been looking for because it's affordable enough, but it's also going to stand up against the test of time and a lot of playing. When I first started playing electric guitar, I had a $99 guitar, and the tuning pegs would fall out, and the strings would break, and I fought through it.
Oh, I hear
but it was
Wild Blue.
tough, and it probably would have done me some good not to have it be so tough. And so the SE really brings the same experience of being a guitar player that I have to someone who just started playing for the first time. And that, to me, as an older version of my younger self, is something that I take very seriously.
Sounds like a great
When can you
vintage
tell I'm
Strat.
playing a great guitar? I can kind of tell when I do that. Just the low A string, how the string rings out, how I can stop it, how I can start it, how I can get the raking sound, how I can get that tubby neck pickup sound out.
For me, if an electric guitar sounds great unplugged, then that's a sign of a great guitar.
That's when I can tell a guitar is good, from just that amount of playing, that the strings will go with you the way you want them to, that you've got high end, this is the high end, this is the low end. You hear how there's high end in the low end?
There's high end in the low end. That's guitar player speak right there.
All the great harmonic high end information is in these pickups in the SE. Feel-wise, it's hard to hear because you'd have to have your hands on the guitar, but guitar players can sometimes hear the way something feels, and I'm going to try to show you, for the first time ever, how something feels based on hearing it.
Get what he's trying to do. Play dynamically, you know, give us a sense of the feel. The more I look at this color on the screen, the more I like it. It's almost sea foamish or surf green. That's the stone blue.
Hear how that feels?
I hear how that feels. Okay, well, let's take these out and discuss. You know, so far I'm into it, you know. I gotta say, I feel that accessibility is the name of the game here. You know, you want high quality instruments that, you know, most people can afford. And because you want to appeal and you want to access all the players out there, you know. And I think that this guitar is definitely going to be the biggest seller of 2022. It's nice that we have this coming out. Usually this time, I think all of us are used to hearing about new stuff coming out at Winter NAMM, but with no Winter NAMM this year, you know, it's nice to still see new stuff coming out. And so, you know, reading up on the differences, you know, this has a poplar body as opposed to alder. It doesn't have the locking tuners. It has a 2-point tremolo as opposed to a 6-point trem. And it's got, I think those are like the biggest differences. You know, it doesn't have the recessed truss rod cover. It has, you know, just the normal truss rod cover, which is, you know, whatever. And it does have the back plate, which the other one doesn't have, which is also negligible. But go watch the Andertons review of the SE, and they do the side by, you know, of course they compare it with the American version, and there are differences, of course, but if you kind of, you know, close your eyes, and they even do the blind taste test as well, you can, you know, really hear that they're very similar. And I think a lot of players are gonna, you know, it's gonna be close enough so that a lot of players will be like, sweet, I'm gonna go for the SE version. What I like about having an SE Silver Sky is, a lot of Strat players like myself like to mod the instruments, switch out the parts, put, custom pickguards on there, maybe replace the pickups. If you're paying $2,500 for a guitar, you're probably not going to want to mod it. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money to invest in guitar, and you're going to lose a lot of value in it. And you just may not want to, yeah, it would be really tough to do. But if you're only spending $850 on a guitar, then yeah, you'd be, I'd mod it for sure. Grab that, that cream colored one. Was it Moon White? Yeah, you can, throw a tortoiseshell pickguard on there, maybe do an HSS version, put some cream colored pickups and stuff, Yeah, I'd love to mod a SE Silver Sky. You could get, just the full-fledged core SE, the full-fledged core Silver Sky just to have, and then you can get an SE version to mod and have as your own. Now, the colors are okay. They're pretty cool. What I like about the Silver Sky is I thought that they took a really adventurous approach to the colors they picked for the instruments, And with these ones, they seem just kind of like normal, And I really wish they would have had some adventurous colors, and especially that hot pink one, just like the Silver Sky that came out when Sob Rock was released. But, this is just the initial offerings. I'm sure that we'll see different colors in the future, and I believe we'll probably see a maple fretboard SE Silver Sky in the future as well. So do I hold out for that, or I don't know. But, these are going to be mega popular. I think we know that 100% for sure. And I can't wait to play one. What I like about them as well is that they have, just from watching the videos on YouTube, all the different videos, they have more of a vintage tint to the maple neck. And from what they say, it's more of a satin feel, more satin feel than the maple Silver Sky. So I love a nice satin neck. I hate getting, stuck on the lacquer on the back of a neck, and I sand a lot of my necks down, or I like to have just a regular unfinished satin necks. So it's nice to hear that that's Paul Reed Smith always does necks, right? They're always really easy to play, very comfortable. And so yeah, I'm psyched to hear about that. And the pickups sound great. It's tough to tell in videos, but the impression that I got from the American Silver Sky when I played one is that the 60 cycle hum isn't really that bad. I don't know if it has to do with the quality of the wiring or what. They are real single coils, the genuine single coils, but they didn't seem as bad. There was noise, but it didn't seem as bad as other guitars that I played. And maybe, I hope it's that way with the Silver Sky SE. Of course, you could always switch out the pickups if you wanted some noiseless ones. Anyways, this guitar is cool. It seems super cool, and I think we're going to see, we already saw a lot of people playing Silver Skies when they got released, but I think we're going to see way more now. It's a very cool guitar. Will I buy one? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not going to rush out and buy one right now. Like I've said in a lot of my videos, I do want a Strat style guitar. I want one with some vintage aesthetics, but more modern features. And while it does have the vintage aesthetics going on, it doesn't really have very many modern features, like locking tuners, noiseless pickups, really accessible neck joint, with where the bolt-on neck meets the body. It's kind of standard there. But listen, I haven't played one yet, so I can't wait to play one. I really want to hear how those pickups sound. I love the pickups with the American version. I want to hear what the SC version pickups sound like. The American ones, God, they're so warm, and the clarity is incredible. And from the videos I've seen on YouTube so far today, these have a very nice, warm, vintage, high clarity sound that you get from, vintage Strats, and it's really good. And a lot of PRS players that I know, and PRS players that are on different Facebook groups and forums, they have both core models and SEs, and they love them both for different reasons. SEs are quality, super quality. You can mod them without feeling bad about it, and you can gig with them. And, of course, if, one falls over and gets dented, you don't feel as bad because they're not as dear and precious as the $3,000 core models. And so, yeah, I'm excited. This is cool. It really brings a new, something new to the PRS line. And I wonder if they'll do an S2 version. I don't know what would be different. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like there are differences, of course, in the SE version to the core version, but I don't know if you were to do an S2, I don't know what those differences would be, because there's already not a whole lot with the SE version. And of course, these days we know that there are high quality instruments being made overseas, and especially the approach that a lot of builders are taking now, whereas they have the guitar made overseas and then they come and do the full setup at their factories in the States before they send them to the music store. And of course, if you get that sent to a store, if you get it, you got the coming from the factory to the PRS factory, they do their full setup, and then you send it to a place like Sweetwater, they're going to do their whole setup thing as well. And it's going to be a lot of people making sure that the guitar is in great condition before it gets to you. So, I think that, especially if you go that route, then we're going to see some good quality control. And PRS has decent quality control. I haven't really heard many people griping about the quality control with their SE instruments, and of course not with their core instruments. Anyways, it's happy PRS Silver Sky SE Day. Go check out all the videos. Anderton's video is cool. Peach Guitar's video, and of course the PRS videos are super cool, like the one we just watched. And there's the one with the medley of the 6 players playing Wild Blue. That's very cool. Anyways, I love it. Can't wait to try one out. Hope you're all doing great. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you're having a good New Year so far, and we'll see you later. Like and subscribe if you like my videos. I appreciate everybody watching.